The internet is in a frenzy right now because 50 Cent, T.I., and King Harris are all going at each other. And in the middle of the chaos, people are now questioning everything they thought they knew about King Harris. The clash between 50 Cent and King Harris has set tongues wagging on the internet, and some of the things that have surfaced during this beef are things King probably never wanted out in public. So, let us get into exactly how this all started and what 50 Cent said that has people talking. The versus that blew everything up. To understand why King Harris and 50 Cent are going at each other right now, you have to understand where all of this started. And it started with something that was supposed to be a celebration. A versus battle between 50 Cent and T.I. that never happened. T.I. has revealed that he no longer has respect for 50 Cent due to what happened around their potential and long-rumored versus match. In a clip from an upcoming episode of $1 Million Worth of Game that co-host Jilly Da Tid shared on social media, T.I. went into detail about the match that according to him was supposed to have happened, saying it was about celebrating each other's catalog and that he and 50 had talked about it while they were moving around in Los Angeles selling some shows together. Now, this is where things get interesting. T.I. explained that years ago, he and 50 discussed the idea. The ATL rapper said that an agreement was made between the artists to let T.I. bring the idea up publicly first and then 50 would respond. But when T.I. did raise the possibility of a versus, he claims that 50 acted confused. That threw T.I. off. Here was a man he had sat down with, discussed the plan with, mapped out how the rollout would go, and now 50 was acting like he had no idea what was going on. According to T.I., the tension isn't just about music, it's about a private conversation that went left. T.I. detailed a meeting in Los Angeles where the two were actually working on business outside of music. So it was not some random call-out. T.I. and 50 were doing business together. They were pitching TV shows and movies. And during that time, the idea of a versus got brought up. And according to T.I., 50 was with it until he was not. This is because during an episode of Nightcap Live earlier this month, the trap pioneer accused 50 of dodging a versus battle against him. T.I. was on the show with Shannon Sharpe and Chad Okosinko, and he was not holding back. He was saying 50 does not want smoke. That he called him out and 50 ducked it. Now, if you know anything about 50 Cent, you know this man does not take being called out lightly. Instead of going with the plan T.I. said he privately agreed to, 50 rejected T's call out. In typical 50 Cent fashion, he went on social media and began trolling the Atlanta rapper with an old ad he did for Crime Stoppers, writing, "I know Atlanta pick and choose who they support." The rapper also posted a video of T.I. testifying in a courtroom in a 2008 case where a man was charged with his friend's murder, captioning it about staying away. That is textbook 50 Cent. He does not respond with bars first. He responds with content. He digs up old footage, old interviews, old photos, and posts them on Instagram to let the internet do the rest, and the internet did the rest. 50 retorted on Instagram telling T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth. Later calling Tip King Rat in the comment section of another post. That King Rat comment lit a fire because in hip-hop being called a rat is one of the worst things you can be labeled. T.I. was not about to let that slide. T.I. wrote in response, "You playing on my name when only one of us a rat in real life. You know I got your paperwork right and my transcript is available online. Your excuses is useless. Get your hoe ass in the box or estif you and live in fear, you soft son. You've lost my respect." Now, that exchange right there is where the match was officially lit. That is where this went from a disagreement about a versus to a full-blown beef. T.I. was questioning 50's character. 50 was questioning T's street credibility, and neither man was backing down. But what neither of them expected was that the next person to enter the chat would be T's own son, King Harris. And King's entrance into this beef is what changed everything. When 50 Cent escalated his beef with T.I., he made one move that changed the entire dynamic. He went after T's wife. 50 Cent and T's social back and forth sparked a new beef between 50 and Tip's son, King Harris. After the mogul shared a controversial photo of T's wife, Tiny Harris, posting an unflattering snap of her, he writes, "I keep saying, keep my name out your mouth, okay?" That post was 50 Cent doing what he does best, hitting below the belt. He was not going after T's music or his career at that point. He was going after his family. And in the Harris household, that is a line you do not cross. The tension reignited after 50 Cent shared a post that included a photo of T's wife, Tiny Harris, along with a caption warning T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth. The post immediately caught attention online, and it didn't take long for T's son, King Harris, to respond. King Harris joined the T.I. and 50 Cent feud on Sunday, February 22 after the mogul shared the Instagram post to T.I. with a photo of Tip's wife, Tiny Harris, performing. 50 would caption the post with his warning and King would comment under 50's post with Tiny Harris ready for war and ready to get messy. King's comment was direct. "Where your mama?" King commented that right there was King going straight for the jugular. He knew that 50 Cent's mother Sabrina Jackson is deceased. And by asking where your mama, he was intentionally poking that wound. But King did not stop at the comment section. He took to his Instagram stories and went on a full rant. He said in part that 50 was posting his mama when 50's mama is dead, that his mama is a legend and he would say it to 50's face. From there, King Harris took to his Instagram story where he shared a picture of a headstone and wrote this. "Where your mama at?" He also shared a picture of a headstone featuring the name Sabrina Jackson and added his own message about 50. Now, that is a level of disrespect that even the internet paused for, because bringing up someone's dead mother and posting a picture of their grave is something that crosses every line. And while some people felt like King was defending his family, others felt he went too far. 50 Cent has laughed off King Harris's remarks about Sabrina Jackson, according to his latest Instagram post. LOL. 50 captioned the post with a photo of the popular cartoon frog meme. That is the thing about 50 Cent. He does not get emotional. He does not get angry. He gets strategic. And when 50 responds with L, that means he is about to come back harder. That frog meme was not him being unbothered. That was him loading the chamber. King Harris took to Instagram in defense of his mother with several posts pointing out 50's prior beefs, the aftermath of his 2000 shooting, previous accusations of domestic violence, and more. King was pulling up everything he could find on 50. He was going through the archives. He was posting about 50 Cent's domestic violence case from 2013. King shared a photo of 50 in court with the caption, "All you do is apply pressure to females. Bring that smoke to the chimney." 50 Cent has gone to trial in 2013 for domestic abuse. King was throwing everything at the wall. He was trying to shift the narrative, trying to make 50 look like the villain. But here's the thing. 50 Cent has been in beefs for over 2 decades. He has been in beefs with Ja Rule. He has been in beefs with Rick Ross. He has been in beefs with Diddy. 50 Cent has beef with several peers besides T.I., including Ja Rule, Diddy, Benzino, and more. And in every single one of those beefs, 50 Cent has found the one thing his opponent does not want out in the open, and he has put it on blast. So, when King Harris stepped into this fight, he walked into a trap he did not see coming. Because 50 Cent was not just about to clap back. He was about to pull out receipts that would shake King's personal life to its core. If there is one thing you can count on 50 Cent to do, it is bring other people's families into the mix. This is not something new. This is a documented pattern. It is not the first time the NDA Club hitmaker took jabs at rappers' families. Last year, Finesse 2 Times, a rapper from Memphis, faced a similar jab. It's reported that he was not financially supporting his mother. And 50 Cent wrote on Instagram about it. 50 Cent has been doing this for years. When he has a beef with someone, he does not just go after that person. He goes after their family, their business, their reputation, their relationships. He goes after everything. And with the Harris family, he went after everything. 50 Cent continued to taunt King and Tiny Harris on Monday, February 23 as he reposted a clip from the 50 WTF podcast, which saw the co-host disparaging both members of the Harris family. That is where the situation got really bad, because 50 was not just posting his own comments anymore. He was signal boosting other people's commentary about King and Tiny. He was making sure the entire internet was talking about the Harris family. 50 Cent has been in a vicious internet beef with T.I. and his family. The beef appears to stem from a now cancelled versus battle between the two rappers. Now, here is where things got uncomfortable for King Harris, because once 50 Cent turned his attention to King specifically, he started digging into King's personal life. And the thing about King Harris is that he has been in the public eye since birth. He grew up on camera. King Harris, son of rapper T.I. and R&B singer Tiny, has spent most of his life in the public eye with music, viral moments, and a growing social media presence. King has stepped out of his parents' shadow and built his own reputation. Harris is an American celebrity kid born on August 25, 2004 in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. His father, famously known as Tip or T.I., is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, actor, record producer, and entrepreneur. His mom is also an accomplished singer and songwriter and a member of the R&B vocal group Xscape. King has been on VH1's T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle since he was a kid. Every stage of his life has been documented for the public. And that means there is a lot of material out there, a lot of footage, a lot of clips, a lot of moments that can be taken out of context or used against him. And 50 Cent is the kind of person who will find those moments and weaponize them. He's the kind of person to spend 2 decades antagonizing his biggest enemy. He's the kind of person to partner with DoorDash to make fun of someone in prison. That is literally what he did to Jim Jones. In a February 2026 Instagram post, he shared a surveillance video of rival Jim Jones aggressively kicking down a door in a hallway. So when 50 turned his attention to King Harris, people who know 50's playbook knew this was about to get ugly. And it did. The Blueface situation from December 2025 was still fresh in everyone's memory. And 50 leaned into that narrative in a way that made people start connecting dots. The situation began when Blueface took to social media to address ongoing chatter about his girlfriend N.A. Akira. Responding to comments suggesting she resembles King Harris, Blueface leaned into the comparison. Blueface and King Harris traded words online after the rapper claimed his girlfriend resembles T's son. "King Harris, you look like my bro, get over it." Blueface wrote, "There's nothing manly about you, lil bro. Please don't make it weird." That was Blueface going at King's masculinity directly. And the internet ran with it. Blueface then tweeted, "King Harris is my type of boss." The implication was clear, and when 50 Cent resurfaced this narrative during his beef with the Harris family, it brought all those old clips and old comments flooding back into the timeline. The internet started pulling up every single clip, every screenshot, every moment where King's masculinity had been questioned. And that is what 50 Cent counted on. He does not always need to say the thing himself. He just needs to point people in the direction and the internet does the rest. The Blueface and King Harris situation from late 2025 is one of those moments that most people forgot about until 50 Cent's beef with the Harris family brought it back into the conversation. And once it resurfaced, it stuck. In a live stream clip that circulated online, Blueface doubled down while standing next to Akira. "Y'all keep saying my bitch looks like King Harris, right?" he said. "Baby, you kind of do a little bit." Now, King Harris responded to that situation in a way that was measured. Honestly, addressing Akira's reaction, King pushed back on the framing entirely. "I'm less mad, more like weirded out," he said. "Why would you say your girl resembles a guy? That don't sit." But Blueface kept going. He kept going, throwing shade at King's looks and voice, saying there ain't nothing manly about him, calling him petite and light-skinned. Then, Blueface dragged his girl into it for laughs. "King Harris, come get in the bed, baby." Blueface told his new girlfriend, N.A. Akira, as a joke. "I like the way you said that. Queen Harris with your little petite." AAIO, pause. Hold on. That clip went everywhere. Millions of views. And the narrative that came from it was one that questioned King Harris's masculinity in the most public way. People in the comments were saying all kinds of things, making all kinds of insinuations. And King's response, while dignified, did not stop the internet from running with the narrative. "First of all, I don't look like no female ever." King Harris had responded to Blueface. "Second of all, why the hell would you say that, brother? I'm less mad, more like weirded out. Why would you say your girl resembles a guy? That don't sit." But Blueface kept going. He kept going, throwing shade at King's looks and voice, saying there ain't nothing manly about him, calling him petite and light-skinned. Then, Blueface dragged his girl into it for laughs. "King Harris, come get in the bed, baby." Blueface told his new girlfriend, N.A. Akira, as a joke. "I like the way you said that. Queen Harris with your little petite." AAIO, pause. Hold on. That clip went everywhere. Millions of views. And the narrative that came from it was one that questioned King Harris's masculinity in the most public way. People in the comments were saying all kinds of things, making all kinds of insinuations. And King's response, while dignified, did not stop the internet from running with the narrative. First of all, I don't look like no female ever. King Harris had responded to Blueface. Second of all, why the hell would you say that, brother? I'm less mad, more like weirded out. Why would you say your girl resembles a guy? That shit don't sit. While some agreed with Blueface and said they could see the resemblance, others sided with King and felt the comparison was weird. Some fans commented about how it was inappropriate to make that kind of comparison. One Instagram user commented that people would rather entertain the gay narrative than admit the resemblance, calling the whole conversation weird. That comment right there tells you everything about where the internet took this. It was not just about looks anymore. It was about sexuality. It was about masculinity. And those are the kinds of narratives that once they start are almost impossible to stop. Especially when someone like 50 Cent picks up on them and decides to use them as ammunition. Now 50 Cent never came out and said anything directly about King Harris's sexuality. That is not how 50 operates. What 50 does is he posts things that are suggestive. He reposts clips from podcasts where people are discussing the topic. He drops emojis and memes that nudge the conversation in a specific direction. And then he sits back and watches the internet do the rest. And that is exactly what happened here. Once 50 reposted content that brought this narrative back into circulation, the internet did what the internet does. People started pulling up old clips of King from the Family Hustle show. They started pulling up old social media posts. They started reanalyzing every interview, every appearance, every interaction. And they started building a case that may or may not have any basis in reality. But that is what happens when 50 Cent opens that door. The question on everyone's mind became, what does King Harris's girlfriend think about all of this? Because the person who is most directly affected by these kinds of rumors, aside from King himself, is the person in a relationship with him. King Harris's personal life has been in the spotlight for years now. King Harris has had his fair share of public flings and viral dating rumors, but his current relationship appears to be more serious. His girlfriend and now mother of his child is Genia Nana Epps, an Instagram influencer known for her bold personality and viral presence. The two recently confirmed their relationship in a big way, appearing together at their baby shower. As of 2025, Genia Epps is 20 years old, making her nearly the same age as King Harris. The pair has been spotted together in both public and private settings, sometimes flaunting matching looks on social media and other times scrubbing their accounts of each other entirely. Their relationship has had moments of visibility and mystery. That last part is important. They have gone through periods where they scrub each other from social media. That is a pattern that fans have noticed. And when the 50 Cent beef started and the old narratives about King's masculinity started circulating again, people immediately went to Genia's social media to see if there were any signs of trouble. King Harris does not have a child yet, but is expecting his first child from his unknown girlfriend. That was from an earlier report, but the baby shower photos confirmed that King and Jean were together and building a family. The question now is whether the pressure from this beef and the things that have been said and posted online has affected that relationship. Because here's the reality. When you are a young woman in your early 20s and the entire internet is saying things about your partner, things about his masculinity, things about his sexuality, that puts a strain on any relationship. It does not matter if none of it is true. The mere existence of those conversations creates pressure. And when those conversations are being amplified by someone with the platform of 50 Cent, someone with millions of followers who specializes in making people's lives miserable through social media, that pressure multiplies. King's relationship has already shown signs of instability. The on-again, off-again nature of his social media presence with Jenna A suggests that this is a relationship that has been through its share of rough patches. And the timing of 50 Cent's attacks right when King is about to become a father or has just become a father makes the situation even more complicated. Now, as of now, Tiny Harris has not publicly commented on the situation. And Genia has not made any public statements either, but the silence itself is telling. When someone is in a relationship and their partner is being attacked on the internet, the expected response is for the partner to stand by them publicly. The fact that we have not seen that from Jenny A during this particular beef has people speculating. The feud remains largely confined to social media, but fans are watching closely to see whether it will cool down or continue to escalate. What began as a back and forth between two veteran rappers has expanded into a family-centered conflict, showing just how quickly online exchanges can spiral into something much bigger. Meanwhile, T.I. himself is not staying quiet. T.I., in the midst of promotion for his Kill the King album and sharing of his new song, Let Him Know, has not let up on his Queen's counterpart days after the two began sending shots toward one another on Instagram. After releasing the snippet to his diss track War on Sunday, February 22, the Atlanta rapper doubled down with another snippet that premiered on Atlanta's Hot 107.9 on Monday, February 23. As 50 Cent and T's feud continues to bubble, Tip released a track fittingly titled War. T.I. is now making music about this beef. He is using it as fuel for his final album. It appears this could just be a 1002nd preview of a longer edition of War, which may be featured on T's final album, Kill the King, releasing later in 2026. And T.I. ain't playing nice, calling 50 a 5 dispatcher, basically branding him a snitch and clowning him as a keyboard warrior. T.I. raps he's got paperwork from people in prison with 50's name in them, a bombshell claim that goes straight at 50's gangster brand. King Harris's feud with 50 marks the mogul's second with the rapper's son, following his 2026 feud with Diddy's son, Christian King Combs. That is another pattern. 50 Cent does not just go after the rappers, he goes after their sons. He went after King Combs. Now he is going after King Harris. And in both cases, he found the one thing that would hurt the most and exploited it. The truth is, nobody outside of King Harris's private life knows what is going on between him and Jean. Nobody knows if the relationship is affected. Nobody knows if she is standing by him or if she has decided the pressure is too much. What we do know is that 50 Cent has done what he always does. He has taken a beef that was about music and turned it into something personal. He has taken a feud about a versus that never happened and turned it into a family crisis. King Harris is 20 years old. He is a new father. He is the son of one of the biggest rappers in Atlanta history. And right now he is caught in the middle of a war between his father and one of the most strategic minds in hip-hop. 50 Cent is not going to stop. He never stops. 50 Cent's beef with T.I. stems from social media trolls and attacks over this versus challenge since they are still feuding over it. It seems like this is a combative relationship that won't experience a hatchet burial anytime soon. The question is not whether King Harris's girlfriend left him. The question is whether any relationship can survive the kind of public pressure that comes with being in 50 Cent's crosshairs. Because if history is any indication, the damage 50 Cent does is not always immediate. Sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes it takes months, but it always takes its toll. What we are watching right now is a beef that started over a verse and has become something that touches every member of the Harris family. T.I. is making diss tracks. King Harris is posting headstones. Tiny Harris is staying silent. And Genia, the young woman in the middle of all of it, is in a position nobody would want to be in. 50 Cent has made a career out of this. He has made a career out of finding the pressure point and pressing it until something breaks. Whether that something is King Harris's public image, his relationship, or his peace of mind, only time will tell. But one thing is certain, this is far from over. And that is the story so far. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. Do you think King went too far by bringing up 50's mother? Do you think 50 went too far by going after Tiny? And do you think King's relationship can survive all of this? Drop your thoughts below. And if you are not subscribed, hit that button now because this story is developing by the hour and you do not want to miss what happens.